know what, I honestly believe throughout the whole season, they always believed that they were going to win.
We know who we are and what we can do, and for people to think that we're only top 4 is we thought it was ridiculous to us.
We really weren't going to back down from anybody, and that we were going to have a chance in every game.
My senior year, I wanted to prove that, yeah, I mean, we had good players in Darius Smith and Darius Hunter and Alex Gerbo, but my guys could do just as well. So
these kids played with so much confidence, and they knew they were going to win. No one was going to beat them that day.
Last season, losing to Brookfield in the state tournament was it was tough. I mean, last year was definitely an adjusting year for me. Just losing Darius Smith, losing Darius Hunter, losing Alex Gerbo, 3 big keys to our first state championship run. And I mean, I had to learn a lot from that whole season, but losing to Brookfield was tough.
When we lost to Brookfield last year in the state tournament, it was kind of heartbreaking because I mean, they went on to win the state championship, and that was our game. And I mean, fouling out myself, I feel like I let the team down, and it was just a heartbreaking game to lose, especially in the last minute.
We lost second round of states and semifinals of the SWC tournament. And I know it doesn't look great, but to me it was something special because we really formed a bond that year. We did lose Will, and he was that senior leader. But we had 4 guys coming back who started, and we had a little bit of a chip on our shoulder. We had something to prove, and I really think that we kind of walked off that last court against Brookfield wanting more.
Well, it was my senior year, and I wanted to go out, on top. So we had a really good group of kids, and I love my team. And I was looking at how Darius and all of them did in 2016. Senior year, why not go out with a bang? So this year, we decided just work our hardest and and doubt the state.
I got a lot of flack for being the new leader and not being able to perform. So my senior year, I wanted to prove that, yeah, I mean, we had good players in Darius Smith and Darius Hunter and Alex Gerbo, but my guys could do just as well. So
Going into the season, I don't know if we, as a coaching staff, knew what to expect. I knew that we were going to be good in the sense of our guard set, but losing Will Hatcher was going to be tough. We were excited for the year. We weren't really sure what to expect. But once things got rolling, things changed and we got very excited.
Losing a big man like Will Hatcher and trying to figure out who was going to be able to replace him was going to be difficult. And Ronan had gotten hurt the first couple of weeks of practice, and we had heard things about Woods stepping up and going to probably end up in a key role for us this year. So when Ronan was ready and healthy to play, we had to decide what to do. Who were we going to start? And decided on playing 5 guards. So we'll feel out the situation, try and see if it works. And we stumbled through the first couple of weeks of the season. And so I expected maybe a 14-15 win season, get into the SWC tournament, state tournament, and you know how that goes. Once you get in, you never know what's going to happen.
I think before we had our first scrimmage, I wasn't sure how the team itself would flow, who would try to take on a leadership role, who would try to, just the different aspects of the game. I wasn't sure how it would go, but I noticed when we scrimmaged Trinity, and I saw how well we played against Trinity and how well we battled down low against Trinity. I knew that these boys could really do something special if they really bought into the system.
Honestly, I didn't know what my expectations would be. I wanted to win, and that's all I wanted to do. I didn't know what type of season I was going to have scoring or defensively or whatever. I didn't even know what the starting five would be like, but yeah, like really no expectations. But as the season went on, my expectations grew because we just kept on winning.
Our expectations were, win, and it's always a state championship, SWC conference champions. And I know a lot of people doubted us, but like I said, we shocked the state. Not starting anybody over 6 feet tall, and but really for our own player team expectations, it was just to go out there and get it done no matter what and try our hardest.
It was probably after the Danbury game. It had been, I don't think, our best performance.
The time I thought we were going to be special was right after a loss, after we lost to Danbury High. Danbury High was better than us at that point of the season, but I thought our kids played really hard. I saw a lot of great things, and that was probably the time that I told the coaching staff we have a chance to make a deep run this year.
I remember walking back up to the locker room with the team and just seeing how mad we all were that we had lost again, that we didn't get where we wanted to that game, but I could see the determination on everybody's face. I could see how upset we were, how much we hated losing, and I think that at that moment I realized that that was going to drive us to do something special this year.
To me, it was clearly the Colby game. They came in here, I think they had one loss at the time. We were both battling for seeding spots for the SWC tournament, and we win the game by 33. We played 5 kids the whole game, as we had done all year, and we caused 31 turnovers, and we had only turned the ball over 6 times, and they came and pressed us the whole game. So when I saw that our kids were able to handle that type of pressure for 32 minutes with no subs, and actually in the fourth quarter take advantage of it and actually beat them up and down the court, I kind of took a step back and said, maybe we're for real this year.
For me, I think it was still that Trinity scrimmage. And then I think when the playoff run started, when we went against New Britain, that was a big eye-opener. That's when I knew we could really win it out.
I believe it was the Stratford game. It was about, I'd say, 2/3 into the season. They were a big test for us. We started out really well, and then they started coming back. So, we really had to learn as a team and go through the experience together. And coming out with the win was definitely big for us because we knew that in tight games we could perform well and we could get wins.
When we played Prince Tech, I realized that we have something good going on because they came in, they were said to be top team in the state, really good guard and good big men. So here we are, nobody tall, playing a couple guys, a 7-footer, and then we're playing 6'7" guy. So we had to work our butts off, and even though we lost that game, now I realized that we could play well together, and and people really have to they can't overlook us.
I thought the times that we were struggling in the beginning of the year offensively, I thought that was a great time for us to really start focusing on the defensive end, to create open shots, create layups. And then I thought the kids fed off of that, and any point after that, I thought anytime that we were in trouble, I thought the kids knew if they played good solid defense, we stopped their best players, and ran our number break, we were able to get easy shots and baskets.
Coach Mangachos always told us, keep playing no matter what, even if you can't score or you can't do this, you can always contribute in another way. So being us 5, we're offensive and defensive players, two-way players, so if we couldn't score, if 4 of us couldn't score and only 1 of us could, the other 4 we're going to play defense, and we're going to contribute and make things happen on the other end so that we can get easy buckets.
I think the biggest thing in the first half of the season, I think it was, a lot of it was just we weren't making shots. We were doing all the right things, but at the end of the day, it's one shot and it could go in or it could miss. And I think the coaches were really good about telling us to, hey, just focus on the next one. And, you know, it worked out great for us because second half we usually picked up the steam. So.
What it says about him, that Ronan sacrificed his offense for his defense, is that he's a completely unselfish player and that he'll do anything for his team to win. Because, I mean, he could have said no, or he could have took a step back and, you know, and relaxed on defense a little bit, try to go on offense. But he saw that he needed to lock somebody up, and he took the task, and he passed the test every single time.
I thought Ronan, you know, 4-year starter for us as his freshman year. You know, after we lost Darius Smith, you know, all eyes were on him. He was going to be our offensive threat. He was going to do everything for us. But this year, you know, he did reach his ultimate goal of 1,000 points for Immaculate High School. But I thought Ronan, as always, is a team player. He wanted to win, and winning was more than anything. He gave up a lot of points to share the ball, to make sure we had the great open shot, as they all did. And Ronan took the initiative and took the role of being that guy to stop the opponent's best player.
What went through my mind, it was, all I kept thinking about was the moment that Darius Smith scored his 1,000th point, because I was on the court at that time. And watching it happen, I just saw, so Darius Smith hit a free throw, and I just saw Nelson, Coach Nelson, walking out to half court, and I was like, that's kind of odd. Like, and then he said, congratulations. I said, for making a free throw? Like, what? And then he said, oh, his 1,000th point. I said, oh, wow. Like, I didn't know Darius Smith was even close to scoring 1,000th point. I knew I was pretty close, and before the game I had some cues that it was coming up, but I didn't know how close I was. So it was a big surprise to me, but like in that moment you see how much Nelson cares about the rest of the team, like as individuals. Like he'd go through walls for us. And yeah, it was big having him, because I know he's been a big supporter of me ever since my freshman year.
He does all the little things and he's good at it. All right, you could get him frustrated. He misses a couple of threes or a couple of shots, he disappears. All right, he disappears. So if you're on him, get on him. If Mikey attacks the basket, all right, Bourne's going to look to come out quickly, get the ball, and he's flying. Miss shot, you have to get back on defense quickly.
Let's go, boys!
I just thought that we should have been able to compete with them, but they actually upped their game against us and were just a little too much for us to handle. Same thing happened, which may have been a blessing for us, because the same thing happened in 16 when we won the state championship. We lost to them in the SWC final and used that as motivation to go and win a state championship, and I think that helped us this year too.
Notre Dame is a great team. They went undefeated, so it was a tough loss for us because we thought we had a chance, and that seemed to be taken out of the picture very quickly in the championship game. So just resetting our mind, saying, look, we'll give them the SWC championship. Now it's time to focus on Mohegan and getting a state championship.
I want to say once we lost to Notre Dame, we started to realize that it was the state tournament left, and that was it. We had been in the championship game, which was huge. It was a huge atmosphere at Massac. A lot of people, a lot of fans, a lot of yelling.
It motivated us a lot because, especially as seniors, we knew one loss, one bad game, and we were done.
Every loss that we had throughout the course of the season, the Notre Dame loss, the Prince Tech loss, the Brookfield losses, all kind of got the kids to refocus and get back on track, where there could have been opportunities for them to say, you know, oh, maybe we're not as good as we think we are. They realize that, no, we're good, these are a couple bumps in the road, and we kind of use that to get to where we ended up.
At the beginning of the year, I think the coaching staff and the kids didn't know how that state playoff run was going to unfold. You know, playing against some of those big double-L schools, you know, they have a lot more talent to pull from, you know, whereas we only have 400 kids in the school. And I just think once the playoff run started and the kids started to believe that they could go as far as they want to go, I think it didn't really matter who we went up against, whether it was Division I or Division V. I think those kids were locked in and they were just ready to go up against whoever stepped on that court.
My mindset heading into the state tournament, playing double-L schools, was optimistic. To be honest, I had no clue that all the teams we were going to be playing were double-L. But I think that just goes to the coaches. They prepared us well for every game. So it didn't really matter how big the school was, how tall they were. I think we had a great game plan going into every game, and then it was just on us to execute.
The teams that we played, we had to bye the first round. We played Fairfield Ward in the second round, who had the player of the year in the FCIAC. Kid averaged 34 a game, had been in the 40s several times. So we knew it was going to be competitive. We knew we were at home. We got a chance to scout them and got some film on them and thought we could compete, but we weren't sure if we were good enough to beat those type of teams, like you said, double-L teams and big schools.
I don't think I've seen a performance like that in a long time, where Ronan took out, you know, Fairfield Ward's Conway, who's the best player in the FCIAC, took him away. I believe he ended up with 9 points.
And when we did such a good job in that game and kind of won it going away, we said, well, we may have a shot here. Then New Britain came in, and we handled them fairly easily. And at that point, I think we all realized that we have a legitimate shot to actually win this thing.
When we went against New Britain, that was a big eye-opener. That's when I knew we could really win it out, you know, because when those guys first came in the gym and I saw how big they were, I was nervous. I was very nervous. But, I mean, these boys buckled down. They didn't back down at all, and they just gave it everything they got.
When we played teams like New Britain, who had 2 kids that were 6'5", and we turned it around by everyone that always asked, how do you match up against teams that have 2 bigs? We said, no, how do they match up against us? And we used the offense that you helped put in, spread the court, we'd attack the rim, whoever the big kid was covering, get a couple of layups, they'd collapse, kick out, we'd hit a 3, and they have to take them off the court. The 2 New Britain bigs had 0 points.
Glastonbury, very good team, there's no question. In the semifinals, everyone knew it was on the line. You win that, you go on to the finals, and it was a back and forth game. But never a point in that game was I concerned. I knew we were going to do the little things that we've done up until that point. We were a smarter team, and I knew once we spread them out a bit and we could attack the basket, I thought we were going to be okay.
I think having those 2 games prior against Ward and New Britain, that momentum that we had going into the Glastonbury game kind of helped us towards the end to finish the job. Because like you said, they matched up with us. They had 3 good guards. They had a big that was a pretty decent player, and they hung around and they competed the whole game.
Now we're there, screw it, let's win the freaking thing, you know? Let's win the whole freaking thing, all right? 32 minutes. All right? Listen, it's not over, all right? Listen, I'm happy we're there, but I'm not gonna be happy until we hold that state championship trophy, all right? Holding that thing is holding like a brand new baby, all right? It's the greatest thing ever. But listen, we got work to do from now until then, all right? And it starts tomorrow, all right? It starts tomorrow with practice. It's going to be crazy for the next couple of days with newspapers and going to, I think they sent some of us out to AquaTurf for luncheon. And then we'll obviously head up to Mohegan Sun on Saturday. Games, listen, it's the best game, all right? You're in the prime time. 8:30, last game of the night. Only boys game that night, and it's us, all right? So putting two great teams on. Listen, we got Amity, all right? We get Amity. They beat Newtown by 3, all right? So listen, it's a team you know you can compete with.
The buzz around school has just been awesome. Everyone's excited. Everyone signed up for the buses. We're all ready to go.
Yeah, really ever since that game ended, you know, everybody's just been talking about how we're going back to Mohegan and how it should be a good time.
Everyone's just looking forward to Saturday.
Yeah, everybody's super excited.
Definitely one of the greatest high school memories for me, being involved with the team, and now this year. Everyone loves it. All right, we'll be there Saturday. Let's go Mustangs. Let's get this win. 2 in 4 years. Make it happen.
Yeah, we're looking to bring home another ring, you know, hang up another banner. Good luck to everybody.
We'll be behind you guys.
Yeah.
All right, listen, you've done everything all year, all right? You got one left, all right? Like I said, you could be tired on Sunday all you want, all right? You got to push yourselves on Saturday. There's nothing more we can promise you. There's no more practices. There's no more games. You've done it all, right? You should be happy you're there. You shouldn't be satisfied that you're there, all right? You have one more left, all right? You have to do the little things. The seniors don't have another shot. And you know what? It's not guaranteed that you juniors or sophomores or freshmen are ever going to have an opportunity to do it again, all right? You may never do it again. Enjoy it. Take it all in, all right? But at the same time, you're there to take care of business. You're there to bring home another championship for Immaculate, another state championship, all right? To be in the rafters with the 75s and the 12s and the 16s, all right? We got to make sure we get the 18s on there.
Now tell me who can stop me. I'm in the zone. Competition's none in a league of my own. All about the W. I'ma bring it home when it's over with. I'ma be the king of the throne. Now who can stop me? I'm in the zone. Competition's none in a league of my own. All about the W. I'ma bring it home when it's over with. I'ma be the king of the throne. I'm in the zone. Yeah, I'm in the zone. The competition wet. Tell them let's get it on. My hustle getting crazy and I'ma finish strong. You threw up so many bricks, you probably could build a home. I done came a long way. This is what the grind make. Everybody want to shine, don't know what the shine take. You mad that I'm playing? Call it sideline. Hey, it ain't only hustle be the mind state. Defying in the zone, huh? What you call this? They ask me.
You're giving way too much time to look fast and just finish with 2 guys. So get up in the space, hand on chest, hand in face, and get the ball. You can't let these guys have the time to look, especially, listen, the ball is out of 43's hands. They're looking to get him the ball again. I promise you. You stop this guy, you win the game. No one else is going to beat him. As soon as the ball is out of his hand, they're looking to get the ball back in his hand. Now, if your guy has the ball and you're giving him all the time in the world, he's going to find it. Beat the Spartans on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Beat the Spartans!
That's it.
I want to say I'm so proud of you guys. You guys know my dad. Like, he always texts me. He's always here, just letting me know how you guys have just been playing really well all year, and just basically putting the city of Danbury on your back. That's what you guys got. You guys got Immaculate. You guys got Danbury on your back now, and I just want you guys to go out there and play hard, not only for yourselves but for Nelson, because I know as a player, and when I played for him, no matter what, I would always just give my hardest, because I know he would always just do whatever it took for us. So, you just got to return the favor. Mikey, Jake, Quinn, Ronan, and Jack, just go all out. Guys ready to come off the bench. A couple of you guys have been there before, so we got experience. So let's go. You guys know what to do when we get out there. So I'm expecting big things from you guys. I know what you guys can do, so let's go do it. I love you guys. You guys are all my little brothers. If you guys, you can always text me. No matter the outcome. We all want you to win, I'm sure, but no matter the outcome, we love you guys no matter what, and let's go get a W, fellas.
Listen, it's about 3:40. We're staying here for maybe like 10, 15 minutes. Chill out, shoot around. This will be the last time that you're together in this gym, this group. Next time that you're together, hopefully in this gym, looking up at that banner, will be when you'll be inducted into the Hall of Fame. All right, so this is going to be your last time in this gym together as a team. All right, so I just want you guys to spend the next 10, 15 minutes together, and then we'll head out, and then we'll go up there. Here we are, Mohegan Sun. This is the back of it. Boys are in, watching the game right now. I know our fans are upstairs in the convention center, hopefully getting ready for us. Just give you a little background of what's going on back here right now. It's a bit quiet, but you can tell this is our locker room where they put us in for today. It's not set up yet. We'll take you out what the boys get to see while they walk outside. This is the entrance into the arena for them. To just tell their joy of walking and running down this aisle right here into the arena. Nothing better than this. Nothing better than this. Emily Coyle's watching. Hopefully she's up here with Kyle. Running down here into the arena. As you can tell, it's erupting in here right now. Well, we're here. We made it again. Let's go. Big fun in the house. We're ready to rock and roll. Hopefully everyone's getting fired up for us. Boys are ready to go. Had a good practice this morning, good shoot around. I can't be more proud of these guys. All right, guys, wish us luck. We will put the best thing we can out there for you guys. And we'll hope to see you guys real soon. I'll get back as soon as possible. Just got to turn this off a little, watch a little of this game. But I'll be back. Thanks for the support.
Before the game, I told everybody, even before the Mohegan and before the semifinal game, I said, if you're out on the court, if there's a stop ball, take a second, breathe, look around the entire stadium, because there'll be very few times, if not the only time, that you'll be able to experience something like that. I was lucky to experience it twice, but some guys weren't as lucky as me. So just to enjoy it, because at the end of the day, it's just a game. Like, you're gonna go home, you're gonna have school in 2 days. Like, life's gonna continue on, but you need to savor the moments that you have at special places like that?
Well, first I told Mikey, you know, you've been here before, you played on this court. It might have not been for a long time, but you had the experience. So, you know, help out Quinn, you know, you're close with him. So, you know, tell him, you know, just play your game. Don't worry about anything. And I told Sean, I said, listen, Sean, when you get in this game, you know, don't think about anything. Just play your game, play defense, do what you need to do, and, you know, just have fun.
He is not a shooter. He is not a shooter at all. He is a weak defender. All right, so we got to know that number 24 is a weak defender. We might be able to go open on that. Even Duke, getting him around, whoever has him, take him to the basket. All right, number 31. All right, Chris. 31's just going to come out and help. All right, Thomas goes out looking to hit a shot here, so he has options, and then he will roll back to the basket. So we'll have 3 options here. All right, clock middle, watch the outside.
Weak side, even though you guys are stepping to the ball, have to bump the cutters because they do a great job of waiting for you to turn your head, and they're going to flash right to that free throw line and look to get a shot off. So you guys have to pay attention and bump those cutters. And let's go play.
Spent 4 years with the 2 of you, and like I said, the last time we were in the other locker room, the best part of my day is with you guys. Every day I look forward to coming up to school to practice or game times. I look at you guys, you've been here before, you know what this court's like, you know what this atmosphere is like. Leadership is going to come through you too today. They have no idea what they're in for. Everybody thinks they scout us and they think that we're small players and they have no idea what you're going to do once you're out in the court. Today is your day. Seize the moment, finish the job, and let's raise a trophy.
As we talked before, you know, comes to end tonight, no matter what. There's no practice tomorrow, there's nothing, all right? You've worked your butt off since the summertime, all right? To the summertime to get to this point, all right? You have a great opportunity in front of you, a great opportunity, all right? Play for yourselves, all right? Play for your teammates, all right? Play to the guy next to you, behind you, in front of you. Those are the guys that battle with you the whole year. All right? Like I told the 12s, I told the 16s. Especially with my seniors. You started with a book. Empty book. Pages were blank. Blank. And every year, each chapter was written in that book. Some were successful, some were disappointing, but that book has 1 chapter left. Now what's going to be written in that last chapter, it's up to you guys. These guys here have given you everything. I've told you everything. If you do what we said, there's going to be a great ending to that book, I'm telling you. And everyone's going to know it. That the Mustangs are for real, as we said from day 1. Listen, you know I love you guys to death. Give me everything you got, and let's go get it.
I knew I was just trying to make shots as tough as I could. I modeled myself a lot after Andre Iguodala. The first time he played LeBron James in the finals, he said, I know LeBron James is going to get his buckets, but I got to make them as tough as I can. And that was my mentality going into the game.
If we could take him away, or at least control him to a degree, we'd have a pretty good opportunity. And the kid, first half, I think he had 16 points, hitting step-back threes with a hand in his face. And Ronan just kept working hard and kind of took him away in the second half.
Ronan was playing amazing defense on him the whole first half. He was just hitting every shot. So, you know, second half comes out, you know, step up the intensity a little bit, and Ronan locked him down, only had 1 more point in the game. And the rest of us, we all did our jobs and helped out him. You know, all the keys were together.
All I'm asking for you is put a hand on his chest, all right? Because all he's doing, he's taking that step back, and you're too far. He's extending that gap between you two, and he's getting a good look. If you got the hand on him, he's not going to be able to get a nice, easy shot, all right? Get the hand on the chest, all right? And then we get a rebound. Let's push it up, push it up. If it's not there, then bring it back, and then we run something, all right? And be patient with it. All right, it's there. Listen, 13 is working. They're starting to crumble right now. I'm telling you, they're starting to crumble. All right, our next series down, offense and defense, is going to be huge. All right, it's going to be huge.
Tyler played excellent in that first half, and speaking to Ronan at halftime, and he just came back out and just locked him up, and he ended up having 1 point in that whole second half.
I knew Tyler Thomas was a great player, but just making it as tough as I could for him. So in the second half, he got tired, and they finally started working out for us. They started missing shots.
Congratulations, Immaculate Mustangs.
When the clock hit 0, my mind was all over the place because I had just won my second state championship, and I was excited. I was, I was sad. It was my last game, but I went out on top, and it's just a great feeling to be able to experience it on the biggest court, in Connecticut.
When that clock went off, I didn't know what to feel. I started running towards the bench, but then I realized I should probably go get my teammates, so I turned around and started jumping up and down with them, and then I went and I hugged a couple of the coaches. I remember looking up and pointing at my parents. I remember looking in the stable and seeing all them going nuts. I really just felt blessed at that moment that we had the opportunity to do that, and for the seniors and the juniors, they got to do it again.
It was the cultivation of 4 years in the making, really. Like my sophomore year, I got to experience it more as a role player, but as a leader of the team, it's something very different because you feel joy not just for yourself, but for your other teammates, for the coaches, for all your fans, because you realize how long of a road it takes to get to a place like that, and then you just enjoy the moments that you have in, winning a state championship. Great to win your last game ever as a Mustang.
The Iron 5, basically. You ain't going to have to stop till the last minute.
Yeah, you know what? We needed to get that lead. Once we got that lead, then we could spread them out. And our guys, I feel, could take anyone to the basket. Once we spread them, they got great vision of the court. And then, we got into the gaps, we got to the corners, and Gus started hitting some threes.
What does this mean to you to get it back to yet another championship?
It means everything. For our alumni that are here today, parents, fans, it's all for them.
I love these guys. They call us the 5 midgets. We play our hearts out, we play defense. We took it to them and we got the chip, and that's all we wanted. And I wouldn't want to do it with any other group of guys, really.
What? I didn't get something.
Johnny, Johnny. Listen, I told you at halftime, we're going to take care of business that second half, all right? Ronan locked down, all right? Other 4 guys, you know, ran your offense. You're smart. You found the open guys. Got some big shots down low. You should be very proud of yourselves. Wow. Very proud of you guys. There is not one person who would ever give us a chance or thought we would have a chance to win a state title. Listen, when I tell you things, I don't lie to you, all right? TV guy who was recording the game came over to us and he said, the most unbelievable game I've ever seen. Just because of what your kid's done, what they did out there. He says, you'll listen to the game and you'll hear me say, Immaculate has no business winning this game. He said it a million times because he felt with their size and what they had, we had no business of winning. He goes, but your kids are unbelievable, all right? I don't know if there's ever going to be a team like that. Listen, never. The 12s, listen, was a great team. You know, they had bigs, they had great guards, all right? The 16s, same thing. He has some bigs. He has Darius as running their point, all right? That was a good team, all right? Those were teams that people believed could get deep. This team, a bunch of misfits? No. This isn't supposed to happen.
No.
But you know what? You believed in each other. You believed in us. That means more to me than anything else. You know I wear my heart on my sleeve. And when I say I love you guys more than anything, I do. And I tell you guys that every single time we go out, because I do. And I would do anything for you, and I think you would do anything for me. And I've told everyone, the thing I'm more pissed about right now, I'm more upset about right now, that we don't have practice tomorrow, and I don't get to see you again. You know, I lose my seniors. This is the part about high school sports that I hate. I get to say bye to my 4 guys that have been with me since the beginning. That's what I hate. Having Ronan and Jake since their freshman year with me. I remember Jake before camp when he was coming. He couldn't get in the door because he didn't have money to pay for it. And I found him on the streets and told him to come back. You know, those are the things I remember. I remember seeing Ronan in 8th grade and dying for him to get to Immaculate. Those are the things that I cherish, I love, and I'll never forget. And I swear I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Everything I've been through, I thank you so much. All right, here we are. Let's go. We finish it off. Here's the boys. Facebook Live. Yeah. No one thought we could do it. No one believed we could do it. But you know what? There was 16 kids, 6 coaches that did what we had to do. Isaiah Payne, guess what? You're a 2-time state champion, my friend.
Ronan Doherty, a.k.a. Kawhi Leonard, okay, with the lockdown D.
We got one person who's on right now. Oh, they're off. Who's on? We gotta wait for some people.
Watching? Yeah, okay, here we go.
Oh,
here we go.
Mark Cordery's on.
Go.
Mark, we won, baby. 2-time state champion now. 3-time state champion.
He's like a brother to me. You know, I had coached against him for 5 years, and we were very close. And I almost went to coach at another school, and he said, "No, come here, come with me. We'll win a state championship." He didn't tell me we were going to win 2, but you can see the relationship he has with the players, and the love that goes back and forth. It's not just about a game. It's about, you know, kids that come back to come in and say hello to them when they have their breaks at Christmas time and they're away at college, and the bond that he's developed over the years with these kids is, you know, it's a testament to the type of man he is, along with how good a coach he is.
When Coach McGotchos broke down to us after the game, what I experienced was love and like family, because, you know, not every coach is gonna cry. You're not gonna expect it. You know, some coaches are like too much pride to cry and all that, but for him to be able to cry and, you know, let us know that he really loves us and that like he's sad that, you know, he's happy we won, but he's sad that everything's over and the season's done, that really shows that how much he cares about his players and everything.
I just think it shows how much he cares about kids in general. We're lucky to have him as a coach, but I mean, during basketball camp, he high-fives kids, talks to kids, like even the little ones that look up to him. Like he talks to them just like they're normal. And him breaking down after the game, I mean, it just showed how much of a family we were. Like he was comfortable doing it because he'd gotten to know us so well over the years. So it just shows how comfortable he was with us and how much of a brotherhood we had as a team.
My first time at Mohegan is something I'll never forget. I remember Captain Jake Payton telling me after the University of Hartford game that Mohegan is something that you'll never forget. It's one of the best experiences of your life. So I just wanted to get there, but I had to tell myself to take it all in and that it was going to go by too quickly. But playing at Mohegan was something I'll never forget. Looking up and seeing my parents in the crowd and looking over to the bench and seeing the stable that we had, it's something that made me proud that we had been there and we got to do that for everybody. And then winning obviously just made it that much better.
Man, I never experienced anything like it. Never played in an arena like that, never coached in an arena like that. Being at some of these AAU tournaments, a lot of times you're in small gyms, and you get to the championship, but there's not really that much of a crowd there. You may have coaches, you may have things like that, but it's not nearly at the level as playing at Mohegan Sun for a state championship. I mean, there was, I think, 5,000 people at that game that day. The stable was unbelievable. I mean, so much support from Immaculate High School in general. And the amount of college coaches that were there just to watch the game, it was very eye-opening. And you realize it's a blessing to be part of a situation like that.
It's odd, but the first time around against Coggins in 16, we knew we had a better team, but you never know what's going to happen in that type of environment. 7,000 fans or whatever the case may have been. Ball may not go in, depth perception. So that game I was a little more concerned about, even though I knew we were a better team than I was with this group against Amity in 18, because there were 3 or 4 kids that had been there before and actually played in that situation, and it was Amity's first go-around.
Playing at Mohegan Sun with such a big crowd and such a big fan section was amazing. One, because just looking through the backboards while you're shooting free throws and having to experience that, it's amazing. And it's just having everybody watch you, people watching you, you're nervous a little bit and then you get going. And I know I can speak for my teammates that people were nervous at first, but we were there before, and but you always want to live in the moment and appreciate the moment, because anybody could have been there and it was us. It was
Surprisingly comfortable, even though it was only my second time. Like I said, some guys only get to experience it once. So the entire Amity team, I mean, that's the first time they've ever been to the state championship. So we already had the 4 guys or 5 guys who had already gone to Mohegan. We already had the experience advantage on them. You never fully expect it, because just like even the lights, the lights are so bright on the court, and every single play somebody's cheering. It's an atmosphere that as high schoolers you don't get to experience often, but when you do, it's something special.
You know what? The toughness of that team is unbelievable. I couldn't be more prouder of them, of everything they did. Every one of them, being 5'10" and shorter, battling guys, close to 6 feet. They did everything right. They did the boxing out. They got low. They pushed them out. They did all the fundamental things that they've learned the last couple of years, and put it all together. I honestly believe throughout the whole season, they always believed that they were going to win. A lot of people didn't believe that, but they believed in that. And, for them to do that and what they've accomplished, credit to them.
It was amazing how well they got along, and almost unselfish to a fault sometimes. It was like each night somebody else would be the guy. We had a 1,000-point scorer in Ronan who decided, I don't need to score, I'm just going to stop the best player on the other team. Mikey Basile at the point, who may have shot the ball maybe 5 to 8 times a game because he knew all the other weapons he had and he wanted to keep everybody involved. And you could see that started in practice, transferred onto the court, and you could see how much they loved each other and enjoyed playing with one another.
Speak about how tough these kids are and how they were undersized throughout the whole year. I would say, as a unit, they are one. You know, I think that's what helped them a lot. You know, they're gonna go as hard for each other as they possibly can. You know, they're always gonna have each other's back. They're always gonna be there to pick someone up when they're feeling down. And I think that played a big factor into this year's season. I think the fact that they were undersized, even though they were undersized, I know that they knew they had 4 other guys out there that they could rely on at all times. So if someone had a mismatch or if someone needed help down low, they didn't have to worry if someone was going to come. They knew someone was going to be there.
I've been coaching high school basketball in Connecticut since I moved here 17 years ago. And the downside to all of this is there's never been a team like this before. 5 guards, 5'11" or shorter, we called them mighty midgets, playing 32 minutes a game. It'll never happen again and never happened before. And as a coach, to try and duplicate that and be around a group like that, it'll never happen again.
My most favorite game was, even though we lost, was the SWC championship game. And I think it's my favorite, and it stood out because we were down, and you know, it was a close game for a little bit, but you know, everybody was kind of slow. We came off slow, we started slow a little bit, and even though we were still losing, you know, nobody ever gave up. We kept playing, and it's memorable to me because it's like deja vu. Like 2016, we lost the SWC finals to Notre Dame, and what did we end up doing? Going to win the state championship.
It was probably, it was probably the bus ride back from the Stratford game, I believe, Stratford. We had just beat Stratford by, I think, 11, and on the bus ride home, it was a Friday night, everybody was in a good mood. We were joking, ripping on each other, just kind of being a team. Because throughout the season, we take it very seriously. Practices are intense, games are intense. So at that moment, we just kind of became a team a little bit more, had some fun, relaxed, and so yeah, that was probably my favorite moment.
Oh geez, bus ride after Stratford was crazy. We have a team group chat, and everybody was just roasting each other in the game. I mean, out in the bus, and you know, we'd look up pictures of like cartoon characters, and we send them, and we say which person that was. It was so much fun. And then another memorable moment for me personally was the Barlow game, scoring my 1,000th point. It was pretty, like, it was something I'd hoped to do my freshman year, and I thought I had a shot at it, but really this senior year, like, I didn't really care too much about it. Like, it was kind of on my back burner. Like, it didn't bother me whether I got it or not. I just wanted to win.
My best memories would have to be, well, first it would be the teams. My favorite teams were the 2016 team and this team, 2018. I mean, just the kids on the team were amazing, and I loved them all. Another one of my favorite memories is when we lost to Massac in 2016, or no, we beat Massac in 2016 by 13 points. And we were all like, and Nelson was really mad. He was upset because we didn't play the best we could. And we were all, you know, laughing in the locker room, getting in trouble and everything. And it was just, we just thought it was funny to see him like that.
Of course, the 2 state championships were huge. But watching, and my 1,000th point, but watching like growing up with a mentor like Darius Smith, the first 2 years of my Mustang career was something that I will keep with me forever, because he taught me more how to be a leader than anybody or anything else has taught me. The love that he had for every single one of his players taught me so much, and that's what I really used my I tried to use my junior year. It didn't really work out too well. But my senior year, I understood that it wasn't about me anymore. It was about this team.
Which one do you think was the most special?
It's hard to say which one is more special. Obviously, the 12 was really nice. Not winning a state championship since '75. It was the 50th anniversary of Immaculate High School. To get there and to finally get that monkey off your back, the schools have for such a long time, was huge. And then you look at 2016. That year things just came together. We had what I felt was at that point one of the best point guards the school's ever seen in Darius Smith. Hatcher was a junior at that point. Gerbo to me was the X factor. He's a kid that came in beginning of the year. We didn't know what to expect. So he kind of put us over the hump there. Darius Hunter's great shooting from the outside was great. Did some unbelievable things on the defensive end. And then Ronan was a freshman. Here's a kid who's playing in the finals as a freshman. Was great. He just wanted to make sure he didn't make any mistakes and didn't blow for the other guys, which I thought was awesome. And then this year, special year. No one expected us. Coaches didn't expect us in the beginning of the year. We didn't have much of a bench that we used. We had some great players on there, but we decided to run with the 5 midgets that they're called. So this year was special in the sense that wasn't expected. But which one's better than the next one? I don't know. I'm going to say the next one's the best one. I'll take the next one.
The ball is tipped, and there you are. You're running for your life. You're a shooting star. In all the years, no one knows just how hard you worked. But now it shows. In one shining moment, it's all on the line. In one shining moment, they're frozen in time. But time is short and the road is long. In the blinking of an eye, that moment's gone. And when it's done, win or lose, you always did your best. 'Cause inside you knew that in one shining moment you reached deep inside. One shining moment you knew you were alive. Feel the beat of your heart, feel the wind in your face. It's more than a contest, it's more than a race. You always did your best, 'cause inside you knew. In one shining moment you reached for the sky. In one shining moment you knew, yeah. In one shining moment you're willing to try. In one shining moment you knew. One shining moment.
my sentence, but committed no crime. And bad mistakes, I've made a few. I've had my shadows and kicks in my face, but I've come through. And I need to go on, 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 on. We are the champions, my friends, and we'll keep on fighting till the end. We are the champions. We are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions of the I've taken my bows and my curtain calls. You brought me fame and fortune and everything that goes with it. I thank you all, but it's been no bed of roses, no pleasure cruise. I consider it a challenge before the whole human race, and I ain't gonna lose. And I need to go on, 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 on. We are the champions.